Alright. Hello. Welcome back to another Stepping Stone. Awkward laughing. Copium. Coping mechanism. So I just had a nice little cry session. I know. Kind of crazy. Kind of radical. But it's true. I just had a bit of a cry and I want to talk about it. I'm a big yapper. That's something I've definitely realized and come to accept. I'm a big yapper, so I'm about to yap. Be prepared. So basically, today, I was going to do a vlog. I was going to go out into the world and, I had this idea. I was going to go hit a local mall here in China and do a little cheeky little China vlog. Cheeky little mall vlog, show you guys what malls are like here, and just kind of like tap into some of the ethos that intellectually I've kind of realized I believe in and want to like incorporate in this channel. Like, I really believe in like joy and like curiosity and exploring and just like letting your feet lead you and let you wander wherever you want to go. I think it's a very beautiful thing. And I guess the closest thing to like my vision for my channel and what I do before I started making content, like some of my favorite content out there is like travel vlogs, and I really love travel vlogs. And I am actually going to go travel in about a week, and so I have a lot of ideas about what I want to do, and I have all these exciting ideas that I'm like super stoked for, and really excited to do these travel vlogs in kind of like my own way. I feel like I've kind of finally formed my own format and style, and I've come to like start to kind of feel like I accept it, and I accept that I'm a yapper. And so that's where like, I don't know. So that's like where it kind of gets weird and tricky. Like, so like my last video, I was just talking about how I started to accept myself, feeling like I accept myself more fully, and feeling like I accept what I do more fully, what my content is, what my videos are like. And so today I felt like, it kind of feels like I'm on like the cusp of something great. Like feel like I'm about to make a nice breakthrough, and maybe once I do that trip is when that'll come. But I also felt like, all right, well, I still have a few days until then, and I wanted to go out and do something, make a video. And, because while I love going places and like exploring places that are really interesting or fascinating in general, I also believe in our ability to find joy and fulfillment and have fun without going to crazy places. Like, like, for example, like I'm planning to go to Hong Kong for a day. I've never been to Hong Kong. I feel like it's going to be really cool. And the thing about, I guess, something I feel like with travel vlogging is like, I feel like we see so much of just like the craziest shit, And I feel like it kind of creates a subconscious belief that like to find happiness or find joy, like we need to do all these things. I feel like that's one of the biggest traps we have as a species, at least in like the West and the US, is like arrival fallacy, like thinking that once we have X, Y, and Z, then we'll be X, Y, Z. And so I feel like, I've realized that I don't really want to play into that. I think what really my channel and what I do is, it's really a way of being. It's the art of being, a way of living, and trying to find what that is for myself. And being on this journey where I'm like working on my own authentic self and my own authentic way of being. And I'm gonna tie it all together. I feel like it doesn't quite make sense right now. But yeah, I feel like while like in terms of like my vision and like intellectually what I know I want, I feel like I actually do still struggle with the emotional blockage, really, is what it is, I think. And So that's where it ties into me crying. I was gonna go out and I was gonna do this video, and I just felt like kind of overwhelmed, and a lot of doubt was creeping in, and there's just so much noise in my head about how like, oh, like I'm uploading too much, like, you know, that's one of the biggest things I struggle with, feeling like I'm burdening people or like flooding people's YouTube feed, and like people are like gonna get pissed and they're gonna like unsubscribe and like this and that. And, you know, while I feel like I've really finally gotten very accepting of like, all right, like this is my channel, like I'm gonna do whatever I want, like it's okay to do whatever I want, I'm allowed to do whatever I want. I think even then, even with that understanding, it doesn't mean that there won't be blockages, that there won't be setbacks. And I think today was definitely one of those setbacks where like I felt like I needed to do things. And, you know, my channel name, A Stepping Stone, you know, every video I try to make it a stepping stone in being closer to the person I want to be and live the life I want to be. But the funny thing is that even that can become like a should, you know, like part of why I feel passionate about finding my own way is because the way that I was taught, the way I felt I was conditioned, I didn't really believe in. I didn't really believe in living life in that way, in pursuit of things that I don't really value. I don't really want to chase money. I don't really want to chase a great job or a great reputation or a big house. Like, I just don't really believe in any of those things. What I do believe in is my mission statement, which I feel anxious or like self-conscious about mentioning, but I'm gonna drop it because why the fuck not? I'm on a mission to inspire people to be more curious, connected, and understanding of themselves, each other, and the world around them, so they will live a more authentic, healthy, harmonious, and fulfilling life, beyond afraid to dream, and beyond relenting in the pursuit of their dreams. That's my mission. And everything I do in my channel and in my life basically aligns with that mission. But the ironic thing is, like, even though I've, like, deconditioned and, like, shedded so much noise and conditioning of like what I should do and what I should live like, what my life should look like, I feel like the funny thing is that even now that I kind of have my own answer for it, I've still kind of fallen into the trap of like, okay, a stepping stone, like I should be making a stepping stone, like every day I should be doing something, I should grow, I should this, I should that. And I don't know, I guess it just kind of feels ironic and strange in a way. And it's kind of just like the same core issue manifested in a different way. Like, just because I kind of have an answer doesn't mean that that will always be the answer, which is why I try to stick to the whole stepping stone thing, just taking things a step at a time. But what I feel like I still fail to recognize is that like there are going to be times where I don't want to take a step. I don't need to take a step. Analogy I like to use is like, you know, I feel like a lot of people are very like hyper focused on like productivity and stuff. Like, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that. I gotta be listening to podcasts. I gotta be reading a book. I gotta be listening to a lecture. I gotta be working. I gotta be making money. I gotta be hustling. Whatever it is, right? And I kind of think of this analogy of like, imagine you're like in a metro station, a metro system, and like I'm just chilling there for like 3 hours, sitting on a bench, and just like thinking, just being. And then someone else is like, they've been weaving in and out of different metro lines for 3 hours, and they're like, oh, like look at that, it's already 9 a.m. and I've already gone like I've already been on a train for 3 hours. I've already traveled so much distance. Like, what have you done today, bro? I feel like so much of us get stuck in that competitive, like, I guess like hyperactive mindset where like we feel like we need to be doing things. And, you know, I try basically to make my compass things I actually want to do. What do I truly want? But the funny thing is that there are going to be times where I'm not ready or able to do what I truly want. And even then that causes friction. Even then that causes me to feel like, oh, what am I doing? Like, I should be doing this. I should be doing this. What I truly want. But the thing is, like, yeah, it's just, it's not, our lives are not like a straight line journey. It's not a graph, you know, it's not a linear equation. What I fail to account for, I guess, is that not every day, not every video will be a step forward. Some might be a step back. Some might be just not taking a step at all. And I feel like that's one of the things we struggle with most, is just not taking a step. And yeah, I guess there's just so much friction that comes from not taking any steps. And I think the big thing a lot of us don't recognize, or maybe don't want to recognize, is like, I feel like it often comes down to emotions. It often comes down to like we all, I think we can all recognize the noise at times. A lot of us are cognizant of what those voices in our mind say. Like for me, it's like, oh, like, it's like fear of failure. It's like, oh, like I shouldn't upload so much. It's like, oh, I should go out and do something. I should just go out and explore. I shouldn't have to only upload videos that are like these cool like ideas. Like I should be able to just go out and explore and have fun, and like that should be enough, and all this, right? But at the end of the day, I think it just really all comes down to the emotional aspect. There's, I think often that noise, that voice that manifests, is really just the result of trauma or unprocessed like pain or hurt or something from the past, you know. And so I guess that's what I was trying to get at. 13 minutes in. I hope that all was coherent and made sense. But yeah, I guess I recognize that today just wasn't the day. That it's still very valuable. It still is a stepping stone to not take any steps, to just sit with myself, to just process, to just cry, to just allow myself to just be. And I don't know. I guess it's something I feel like is often overlooked. And even with the knowledge that it's something that's often overlooked, I'm still as susceptible to overlooking it as anyone else. And I guess that was the kind of the lesson today. Anyways, yeah, feeling somewhat like self-conscious. You know, I still feel like I expect criticism. I expect like no views. I expect people to unsubscribe. I expect all these things. And it just sucks. It just sucks a lot of times. I sometimes I think it's the thing, is like I almost feel like an urgency to shed all my conditionings really fast, because it's like I'm just so tired of feeling dictated and controlled by fear. But it's not really the answer either, because it's a matter of accepting myself and being compassionate with myself and accepting that I've been hurt, I've been conditioned, I've faced all these things, and it's going to take time. And I'm going to have to accept myself and take a step at a time. And it's not always going to be pleasant or pretty and enjoyable. And it wasn't today. But now that I've made this video, it was. I enjoyed making this, and this felt fulfilling. And this is now my stepping stone. And it's kind of funny how that works. Like, sometimes, you know, with that train analogy, the best thing we need to do to get to where we want to go isn't to just take a bunch of random trains until we hope we arrive there. It's to stop, take a pause, reflect, process, calm yourself, and navigate, figure it out, plan, and then go. And yeah, I guess yeah, I still struggle with that. And now I feel self-conscious about this being redundant and too long and all this shit, right? It's like, you know, if we don't pause and like observe our mind, it's so easy to just get wrapped up and caught into it. And yeah, I think I'll just take the rest of the day now. Just relax, observe, just be, you know, all the answers are internally. Things will become clear a bit at a time. And yeah, I don't know. I can feel the self-criticism and the noise even now as I try to like acknowledge it. So usually that's a sign that there's more to process and more to cry about. So I'm gonna log off. I'm gonna go lay back down and do nothing and engage in this battle of being, one battle in the grand war of being. And yeah. Anyways, that's about it. I feel kind of shit because of this, but anyways, all right. Yeah, peace.